Roman Reigns returning at Elimination Chamber, the best and worst of WWE Raw. Charlotte Flair is officially handed a new nickname. Liv Morgan suffers a nasty injury. Hulk Hogan's comments about the GOAT slammed. Triple H on Jey Uso choosing his WrestleMania opponent. Sami Zayn seriously injured in real life. Let's dive right in. The best and worst of WWE Raw. WWE Raw tonight saw some heavy progress on the road to WrestleMania 41. It's been a divisive build so far, but at least we have some clarity now. Most of the show was dedicated to Elimination Chamber, particularly with qualifying matches. However, two huge world title bouts have been announced, one directly for WrestleMania, and one that could have huge implications for the show of shows. So let's get into the biggest positives and negatives from tonight's episode of WWE Raw. Number 1. Best. Mania is back on. After last week's debacle of Rhea Ripley accidentally costing Sky a spot in the Women's Elimination Chamber match, things have been put right this week. The genius of the Sky pinned Liv Morgan after a fun tag team match on WWE Raw, which saw the in-ring return of Dakota Kai. After that, Ripley had some good news for Sky. The two will have a Women's World Championship match in 3 weeks. It is set for the WWE Raw after Elimination Chamber, which may suggest that Sky could remain in the world title picture for WrestleMania 41. A potential triple threat between her, Rhea Ripley, and the winner of the Elimination Chamber match seems to be on the cards. All Triple H needs to do is ensure Sky doesn't get pinned clean. Number 2. Worst. An abrupt ending to WWE Raw. Considering WWE Raw is on Netflix, this should mean the show should end at the best possible time. However, we instead saw an incredibly rushed ending like there was a sharp deadline. Following Logan Paul's impressive win over Rey Mysterio, the New Day attacked the Masked Legend. The show faded to black about 2 seconds after Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods entered the ring. That does them a disservice, ruining the heel's big moment. The footage has obviously been posted online, but it was unnecessary for WWE Raw to end mid-attack. Number 3. Best. Changes are coming to the Judgment Day. Things are getting interesting with WWE Raw's biggest heel faction. A change is needed after JD McDonough has been ruled out with a nasty injury, and that's just what Dominic Mysterio seemed to promise. While he is set to take on AJ Styles next week, he told Finn Balor backstage that the Judgment Day needs a new member. The Prince rejected that claim, but that might not be enough to stop Dirty Dom from making a new friend anyway. The tension is back, and once Balor loses his Elimination Chamber qualifying match to Seth Rollins next Monday, things could get awkward. It remains to be seen, though, who this potential new member is. Over to you, Dominic. Number 4. Best and worst. Jey picks his poison. And just like that, we have our first match for WrestleMania 41 signed, sealed, and delivered. Jey Uso has chosen to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, and we're not quite sure how to feel about it. On one hand, the way he did it was great. WWE Raw had an electrifying start, with the ring general attacking Uso while he was yeeting on the announce table. Gunther powerbombed him multiple times before main event Jey made his choice. The two proceeded to brawl further. This fire made for the perfect start to this leg of their feud. However, we've seen it before. Gunther has beaten Jey Uso multiple times, while also overcoming the likes of Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Sami Zayn during his World Heavyweight title reign. He needed a successful defense against a major established name. CM Punk, John Cena, and even Seth Rollins would have been better opponents for Gunther at WrestleMania 41. It's a shame that the Austrian's first world title reign may end without him reaching that next level. Charlotte Flair is officially handed a new nickname. Charlotte Flair has been known as the Queen throughout her main roster career, and her accolades have backed this up. The 14-time Women's World Champion recently won the Royal Rumble in her returning WWE match, but had teased a new nickname with her merchandise leading up to her return. This week on Raw, Rhea Ripley was asked about Charlotte Flair's WrestleMania decision, and was able to claim that she thought Charlotte was stalling in order to remain relevant. As part of the promo, Ripley referred to her as the so-called Top Girl. It seems that this is now the name that Flair has been going with since making her return. It makes sense for her to decide on this name, given that she will now main event WrestleMania following her Rumble win. Charlotte Flair has made it clear over the past week that she has several choices when it comes to WrestleMania. Julia, Rhea Ripley, and Tiffany Stratton have all been put on notice by the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble winner, who is still no closer to making her choice. All 3 women have made it clear that they will be happy to face Charlotte at WrestleMania, but it appears that the story could lead to Tiffany Stratton versus Flair in April. Flair made her return to SmackDown, which would make sense if she chose Stratton, but there is also some history there with Rhea Ripley, and despite the 2 women being on opposite brands, the Rumble winner is allowed to work across brands if needed. On the other hand, Jey Uso, the winner of the Men's Rumble match, made his choice last night on Raw, and the first match made official for WrestleMania 41 was Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, as long as Gunther is able to retain his title until April. Liv Morgan suffers a nasty injury. You don't get to see blood on WWE television, and more often than not, it happens due to an accident. Liv Morgan was seemingly involved in one on the latest episode of Raw, and Vince Russo had a lot of respect for how she handled the situation. Damage Control took on the Judgment Day in a tag team match, with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez looking to defeat Dakota Kai and Sky. The WWE match had its fair share of action, as Liv Morgan, unfortunately, took a stiff knee to the face from Sky, resulting in her getting busted open. While reacting to the injury on Legion of Raw, Vince Russo praised Liv for her toughness and compared the gash on her head to cuts professional boxers regularly suffer. For a superstar of her size, Russo was left surprised by her durability and resilience in the ring. Did you see that nasty gash on Liv Morgan's eye, man? Wow, she is tough. I've got to give you that, man. That was a nasty gash on her eye. Did you see how that happened, Chris? I wasn't watching closely enough. I mean, she had like a boxer's cut. I mean, wow. She is tough, man. Liv Morgan is tough for a girl her size, and that was nasty. Liv Morgan has inarguably been one of WWE's most improved superstars in recent years, having established herself as a top-tier talent who continues to win fans and pundits over with her performances. Hulk Hogan's comments about the GOAT slammed. Hulk Hogan is one of the greatest WWE superstars of all time. However, the Hall of Famer's recent comments about the GOAT conversation were also slammed by wrestling veteran Vince Russo. The Hulkster recently noted that the GOAT is someone who laid the groundwork for all the big stars that have made their names in pro wrestling. However, former WWE head writer Vince Russo did not agree with the WWE legend, noting that someone who brings in the most money should be regarded as the greatest. Here's what the former WWE writer had to say on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw. I disagree with Hogan changing the rules, that I don't agree with at all. I would say the GOAT is money. The GOAT is business. That's what I would call the GOAT, who generated the most money and the most business. You know, who was successful in the crossover like pop culture. I would not refer to who laid the groundwork. I don't think that has anything to do with being the GOAT. Vince Russo continued that Hogan did not lay the groundwork for the future generation stars. Number absolutely not. Hulk Hogan laying the groundwork for someone like Steve Austin. They were going to be characters after Hulk Hogan. I mean, how he could say I laid the groundwork? Wrestling is all about characters. It's character-driven. There would have been characters with or without Hogan. Hulk Hogan recently appeared on WWE programming, as he was present on Raw Netflix premiere. However, he was greeted by a chorus of boos from fans. Triple H on Jey Uso, choosing his WrestleMania opponent. Triple H has now reacted after Jey Uso finally chose WrestleMania. He quickly sent the Royal Rumble winner a message during WWE Raw. After winning the Royal Rumble, Jey Uso had a lot to prove. Fans reacted with mixed feelings, feeling he may not have deserved the opportunity. Triple H reacted to Jey Uso's choice. He said there was only one place in WWE to make the point and prove that someone really is the main event star they claim to be, WrestleMania. He also said that sometimes stars have to take the impossible road to success, and that's what Uso was doing. The game added that the match between Jey Uso and Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania was confirmed. There is only one place to really prove if you're the main event, and sometimes you just have to take the most impossible road to get there. Jey versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, he said. It remains to be seen if Jey Uso can live up to Triple H's expectations and prove himself to be the main event when he faces the ring general at WrestleMania. Sami Zayn seriously injured in real life? Sami Zayn suffered a merciless attack at the hands of Kevin Owens last week on Raw. This happened after KO ambushed him from behind, dropping him with a vicious package piledriver. WWE provided an unfortunate update this week on Raw, stating that Zayn had sustained severe nerve damage and spinal compression and would be out of action indefinitely. Following the news, the WWE Universe has been wondering whether the former Intercontinental Champion suffered a real-life injury. However, that is not the case. Sami Zayn's injury is purely a part of the WWE's storytelling. The 40-year-old is believed to be fit and healthy, and there are currently no reports of him suffering any legitimate injury or concussion. WWE showcased his on-screen injury on Monday Night Raw to seemingly keep him away from television for a while. The Stamford-based promotion often does that to blur the lines between reality and fiction, adding more depth and intensity to the ongoing feuds and storylines. Zayn getting sidelined due to a package piledriver by Owens was seemingly a creative plot to sow the seeds of a potential feud between both superstars. The former Intercontinental Champion is expected to remain on a hiatus for a while before returning in time for WrestleMania 41. Last week's episode of Raw witnessed a heartbreaking moment when Kevin Owens unleashed his fury on Sami Zayn. The two former friends have once again turned into bitter enemies. Owens attacked the 40-year-old because he felt betrayed by the latter's actions at Royal Rumble. The prizefighter felt that Zayn stood at the ringside and did nothing when he was getting pulverized at the hands of Cody Rhodes during the ladder match. For Kevin Owens, it was nothing less than an act of treachery. He believed that Sami Zayn should have helped him avoid the merciless beatdown. However, his longtime best friend witnessing the drama unfold and doing nothing to save him broke KO's heart, and he felt utterly disappointed. Moreover, Zayn rushing into the men's Royal Rumble match to aid Roman Reigns was the final blow to their friendship, as this act filled Owens with disdain. As a result, it prompted KO to snap, which resulted in him turning his back on the former Intercontinental Champion. Roman Reigns returning at Elimination Chamber. Roman Reigns could return at the 2025 WWE Elimination Chamber, PLE. The company seems to have already planted the seeds of what could be a blockbuster feud in the coming months. Roman Reigns returned at the 2025 WWE Royal Rumble and vowed to win the men's Elimination Chamber match to challenge Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. However, he was eliminated from the contest by Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Fans could see the OTC return to the screen at Elimination Chamber. It would be a great way to make headlines during the PLE. Here are signs Roman Reigns will be present at the 2025 Elimination Chamber PLE. According to WWE's premium live events calendar, Elimination Chamber will be the final PLE before WrestleMania 41. Roman Reigns had direct entry into the previous 3 WrestleMania events as the reigning champion. However, he must do something noteworthy without a title to get a spot on this year's show's card. An Elimination Chamber appearance may be required to get his Mania feud going. Paul Heyman can only do so much for the OTC, especially when he is not holding a title. Therefore, it could be a sign that Reigns will return to do something major at the Chamber and enter his next rivalry. CM Punk is one of the biggest stars already qualified for the 2025 Men's Elimination Chamber match. The best in the world is looking to win the contest and stab Cody Rhodes in the front at WrestleMania 41. CM Punk eliminated Roman Reigns from the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble. His actions could prove costly, especially after the OTC fired at him for eliminating him right afterward. Reigns could return at Elimination Chamber and attack Punk, costing him the match after leaving him in a heap. With no disqualifications in the match, it would be good to see the best in the world bow out of the cage without being pinned and eliminated. The final entrant for the 2025 Men's Elimination Chamber match will be decided on the upcoming episode of WWE Raw. Seth Rollins will go head-to-head with Finn Balor for the spot. Finn Balor's recent record suggests that the Prince will take a loss from the Visionary. That will push Rollins into the Elimination Chamber match. Seth Rollins viciously attacked Roman Reigns after he was eliminated from the Royal Rumble. The two men seem to have a rivalry brewing, and fans can see the OTC appear to attack Rollins even before he enters the cage and cost him his spot. Reigns may or may not take the Visionary's spot in the Elimination Chamber match. However, his appearance to take out Seth Rollins could be likely after what he did to him at the Royal Rumble. Being one of the biggest names the industry has ever seen, WWE must have some plans in store for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41. Recent rumors suggest WWE already has a match planned for the OTC, a triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. The seeds for the contest seem to have already been planted for the show of shows, after the 3 men were involved in an iconic elimination spot at the 2025 Royal Rumble. WWE fans could see the OTC appear at Elimination Chamber to take that rivalry further with either a spot with CM Punk, Seth Rollins, or both men. It would be the perfect way to set up the massive match for the show of shows.